2 and 3, and the first woman, Major General Fatuma Ahmed, the new Kenya Air Force commander. Humanitarian crisis looms as homes marooned and roads cut off. It's the situation of floods in the country currently as it is. Right, on the back page, you're gonna read about how Sancho is back to scintillating best on the big stage. So she ilikuwa Man United, haikuwa Sancho. You're going to read that story on the back page. Dortmund beating Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 in the other Champions League tie that was played yesterday. Government to shut 25 farms and offload others. You're going to read that story on page 20. That's it. So this morning then, let's talk about the biggest political story of impeachment. We ran it as story number 4, and we called it Mithika Linturi under siege. Now, siege, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi is a man under siege after 149 legislators voted in support of a motion tabled to impeach him. Linturi will now know his fate after an 11-member committee completes its investigations within 10 days and tabled those investigations in a house. Now, the committee includes 6 members allied to the ruling coalition, 4 from Azimio and 1 from the Jubilee Party. Let's take a look at this story, which is going to be our introduction into our topic this morning.
Honorable members, I beseech you as your colleague, that let's listen to the suffering of the Kenyan people, of the Kenyan Wamboi, of the Kenyan Wanjeku, who cannot be here to speak. Please, for once, let's listen to them. It is not about parties. It is not, and I insist, it is not.
The results of the vote are as follows. Ayes 149. Order, the noes 36. Abstentions 3. The threshold required to carry the vote is 117. So the vote is carried. The ayes have it. Order.
Honorable Speaker, if you read through Standing Order 64 to 66 of our standing orders, you will realize that the Honorable Wamboka's motion falls flat and contra our standing orders and also the Constitution, Honorable Speaker. Has the mover of this motion, Honorable Jack Wamboka, created or shown us that nexus between the person being removed from office as Cabinet Secretary and the alleged grounds of removal? And the straight answer, Honorable Speaker, is none.
Honorable Speaker, the appointing authority, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya, should have taken the action, the most logical action, and fired Honorable Linturi. But because both Linturi and the President have failed to do what the Constitution requires them to do, this House has got a duty, therefore, under the Constitution.
That's it. All right. This morning then, joining us, we do have Manono Fazard Bincha, who's an MCA aspirant, Vonyama Tuta, and we do also have Momanyi Joshua, who's the former aspirant office of the Speaker, Kese County. We're seeking also Momanyi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very, very much okay. Only that the weather, the floods and everything, now we're just the state of 50-50 gazing. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah, but health-wise,
it's a good very much okay. It's a good thing that you're here this morning, because majority of people have not been able to get out of their houses. I mean, it's a sad situation in the country, and Mombasa residents do expect a particular weather change today and tomorrow, as per the Met Department. Good. Let me then jump into this particular topic. And Momanya, I'd like to start with you on this particular one. You and I spoke about this particular issue over and over again. And I want to start like this. How is it that the president didn't pull this plug himself? Because I asked you over and over again, Mithika Linturi seemed to be reading from a different script from the president. We've had to wait until now for this motion to go back to the National House for us to talk about his possible impeachment. Why has it taken this long?
Constitutionally, you cannot take an action before justifying why you are taking the action. So the president and the cabinet secretary, Mithika Linturi, they are reading from the same script. That's one I can confirm with you.
Does it?
But procedurally, it has to undergo some process. Who was affected? It's the common mwananchi.
Does it?
Who represents us as the common mwananchi in the parliament? It's the members of parliament.
Yes.
So by virtue of us giving them our right to represent us in the National Assembly,
Yes.
so they will take that of our issues
Does it?
and act upon them.
Does it?
It's the common mwananchi, it's us who were given the fake, it's not even fake, substandard fertilizers. So it's upon our members of parliament whom we have given the mandate to represent us in that house to act upon that, to call this cabinet secretary and say there is some allegations here. And as per Article 152 of the Constitution,
Yes.
a third of us are going or are moving a motion to impeach you
Yes.
because you did sell the fake fertilizers to the Kenyan citizens. So you are entitled to a substandard, then we are going to call a plenary for the whole house to vote. If none of the above is going to happen, then again we have our own cabinet secretary, Mithika Linturi, back on board. Yeah, so we are still waiting.
Does it?
It's not conclusive.
Does it?
And they are reading from the same script, because if you see from that, it's the azimio members of parliament who did vote. Majority are azimio led-wing members of parliament. So they're the one who voted for let's impeach the guy, let's impeach the CS.
Yes.
But when you look at the 6 majority are from the ruling party, the UDA wing. So, and this also, remember, we have 359 out of 188. This remaining big number, which was not present in the house. We did see the same semi-location when the finance bill was being passed.
Yes.
They first played the same card that let the Azimio members of parliament go on board first, and then we see what's their capacity.
Does it?
So when they're coming back to vote on the plenary of the old house, that's when now can be justified that indeed the CS and the president were reading from different scripts.
Does it?
But at the moment, you cannot eat your own kid. So the president cannot take action against the Mithika Linturi openly.
But severally, I mean, just before I cross over to Mr. Manono, but severally, when the president comes in and says that there's fake fertilizer in the market, and he apologizes to the farmers, and then goes on to say, well, any other farmer who bought that fertilizer, they're going to get compensated. And then the CS turns around and says, well, any other person who's saying that there's fake fertilizer in this market, they're wrong, they don't know what they're saying. There's a guided conversation that we should be guided by people who've got the relevant authority and power to speak on it. Is it not telling the president to shut up?
No.
I mean, what is that?
No. That's what telling the president. It's giving the other side of the coin. That indeed, the president has to sympathize with the public.
If the president says there's fake fertilizer and any other person who bought it has to be compensated, what do you say as a CS?
Okay, this issue which when we were growing up,
yes,
we heard this of our elder brothers and sisters, when sometimes you feel that there's something which has been done in the house, and you are the most...
But then what should a CS say?
So the CS is again saying, it's not fake, because the president did term the fake fertilizer. But the CS said it's not fake, it's substandard.
But when he says that all those people bought it should be compensated, it means that it doesn't meet the standards. I mean, the synonym for fake is substandard.
No.
It is.
No.
It is. I'll be coming to you on that because but there's an update on that particular story for the probe of the fake fertilizer, and I say fake fertilizer in quotes
Just call it
because that's it. Are you taking the same words for Mithika Linturi this morning? But no.
Yes.
Here's what it is. And when you look at, normally a government should speak from the same page.
Yes.
That when the president comes in and says, I do apologize to the farmers of this country, all those who bought that fertilizer are going to get compensated, and we're going to make sure that that problem is resolved. You do expect that a CS should also be speaking from the same script. Comes out and says, you heard what the president said, there's that fertilizer in the market, we do apologize, and we're going to get to the root cause of that. Mithika Linturi has never spoken like that. He's still maintained there's no fake fertilizer in the market. Has the president been slow to pull that plug?
Okay, thank you, Kiage, for having me. First, I'll say this government is totally confused, and I'll continue saying that. They were not prepared to be in government. They have never been. They are never going to be ready to be in this government. That's why they've never been the same page. This one will say this, and the other one will come with another analogy.
Yes.
So Mr. Linturi is just as confused as the president is, and I'll say it without fear of any contradiction, that this government is not ready to run anything in this country.
Yes.
Because you see, the CS comes and says there is no fake fertilizer. The deputy president, while in Rwanda, said about 50,000 bags, which means these two people, they're in the same government, but on the different pages, reading from the different pages, and they're in the same government, meaning these people are not ready. So I'll say this to the people of Kenya: next time, let us do the due diligence of voting in the right people that we think are going to change the nation. Let us not vote with our emotions.
Yes.
Because as you can see, everything is out of order.
Yes.
Not only in the Ministry of Agriculture. Look at other ministries. Everything is out of place and out of order. So next. But for me, it is expected of Linturi. Linturi did a diploma in marketing. So he's trying to be as sellable as he can be. So he's trying to run away from the real issue of fertilizers, which I believe to some extent he has taken part in. So he's trying as much as he can to run away from that. Linturi, being a student of marketing, as a marketer, you can always be the best one in the market. So he's trying as much as possible to run away from the fake fertilizer scandal. So he can't come publicly and say it's true there is fake fertilizer, because he will be held accountable. He's the one running the docket of agriculture. So that is why he can't read from the same page as the president. Yes.
If you are the president,
Yes.
Mr. Manon, and you have a CS here who, I want to draw comparisons, and we're going to talk about that with you, Momanyi. I want to draw comparisons.
Yes.
I mean, when it comes to the issues to do with the Ministry of Health, the president has been steadfast. He said there's no money. We do not see where we're going to get the sources of this money. Comes and says the doctors, that's what we can pay, that's what we can afford. Please, let's continue negotiating. If it happens, it's going to happen in the next financial year. The same thing has been said by the head of public service.
That it was, he chose.
I said the same script, and who should be speaking from whose script in this particular issue, Momanyi?
On the side of it, when you look at comprehensively, it's a political element. And all the case we have all the CSS, even the president, is a politician. What do you expect from a politician? Sometimes I have to soothe the voters. Even if I know they are very, very wrong, I would love to side with them, to please them at that moment. Because the Kenyan citizens were expecting the president to hear their views and say that, oh, I got the information, this, that the fake fertilizers in the market, I'm going to address that, and everybody is going to be compensated. Because now these are the Kenyan citizens addressing their issue, their grievances, that Mr. President, the CS you gave us, we have been served with fake fertilizer.
Yes.
From the agricultural ministry. So the president is automatically being a politician. If I was to be me, I will tell them that, relax, I'm going to solve the issue. I've had your grievances. We're going to solve that. So that's what we expect from the president, to side with the citizens.
What about the CS?
Now when you look at the CS, you have to defend the office you're holding, the ministry. to gain that public trust.
Defend it from who?
He has to defend as the head of that ministry.
Yeah, from
and
who though,
as
Momanyi?
a representative
Yes.
of the president
That's it,
in
but-
that ministry.
But the president is not defending it.
No, it's,
The president has not come out to defend CS Mithika Linturi. He's not spoken on it.
yes.
Despite all the heat that has been erected to him. I mean, even when the ODM members of parliament, led by Babu Wino, said that they're going right in to impeach him, he didn't come out to speak on it. The president has been
Let
quiet
me
on
ask
it.
you something,
yes,
Simba.
yes.
Do you have evidence of the same? Because what was presented in parliament was,
Yes.
was not a conclusive evidence that
Yes.
indeed that fertilizer was fake.
Does it?
But it's stated that the fertilizer was substandard.
Does it?
Do you have the evidence of the same?
It's not about the evidence,
Yes.
because all the members of parliament are worried that the farmers keep on complaining that indeed we do have fake fertilizer. And even this word for fake fertilizer is not a word that we have coined as the media. It is coming from the farmers.
Then we shouldn't go
Yes.
after the CS for agriculture.
Yes.
What's the role of KEBS?
But who is in charge of the ministry?
No, what's the role of KEBS? No, it's in charge of the ministry.
Yes.
But, okay, it's past the ministry. Then we should go on everybody. Every stakeholder.
But you have to start
Of
from